and we're about to be going live everywhere, TikTok and
You don't stop.
Twitter and Instagram and everywhere. And we're gonna be going over Survivor Series 2005 because that's what Kung Fu
Ooh,
Eddie wants to talk about today.
hell yeah.
All right, dude. Dude, you guys have been killing it over there in the big propaganda.
I'm telling you, man, we got a lot of interviews lined up. I have some live events that I have to finish editing and uploading.
Mm-hmm.
Just it's been a crazy roller coaster, but
Mm-hmm.
2025, man, y'all make sure y'all be looking out. Big Propaganda Wrestling Podcasts are gonna take over the podcast world, baby.
Yeah, dude, you guys been getting some like big names too and shit, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, did I see what's his name? Dude that used to be on NXT. You guys got him on your show, huh?
Yeah, Quincy Ellie. He was a cool
Yeah.
dude, man. It was really fun interviewing him and just getting to know them. I'm sorry, getting to know
Mm-hmm.
them and understanding them and making sure that what
Mm-hmm.
are their goals now that they finished with NXT.
So that interview already happened then.
Yeah, it's already available. Going on YouTube, Big Propaganda Wrestling Podcast. It's on available on demand. We just got finishing interviewing Kiefer, who is the owner and the promoter of Big what is it, Texas Pro Wrestling. I probably screwed it up, guys. I apologize. New Texas Pro, there you go. I
Dude,
knew it was something like big or new. My apologies, Kiefer. You can take it out of my paycheck. So yeah, we just finished interviewing them, and then the other guys interviewed Ryan Davison. He represents Reality Wrestling. So I'm telling you, man, we're just rocking and rolling with all these interviews, all these events. We have future things coming up, especially in 2025.
that's what's up, dude. Dude, do you ever get like nervous like interviewing like famous people and shit or nah?
I feel like I haven't got to that part yet. I feel like everybody that I've talked to and interviewed, I've been okay. I've been cool. Like afterwards, I do need a detox. I do need to like get away, smell the roses, because that's one thing that not a lot of people are doing is just appreciating the moment.
Mm. Yeah, I feel like I'd
So
be hella fucking nervous, dude. Like that's why I haven't tried to like reach out to like anyone. People are like, dude, you should get like because I have Kurt Angle. I got to meet Kurt Angle and like I asked him to like do my intro for me and he
yeah.
did it. But even him like asking him just to do the intro, I was hella nervous to ask him.
Mm-hmm.
And like not I like for me to try to like ask someone like that to do an interview, that's like I don't know if I'm ready for that. I'm still too nervous. So when I see
Like
you guys doing your thing, I'm like, damn, that's what's up.
I feel like
Yeah.
my mindset is just like talk to them like they're a real person. Like
Yeah.
what's going on with them? What is their future? Like they're I forgot who said it. I don't know if it was Chris Van Vliet or just somebody, but they said like the person that you're interviewing is basically a person that achieved their goals. That's all
Hmm.
they are.
Nice.
And some of them are really humble about it. Some people are kind of cocky about it, but you could kind of tell which one is the difference between the two depending on like how the interview goes. Because if
Mm.
the interview is really good, y'all could even realize that y'all did more than an hour. But if it's something that's not like, it's not spicing it up, this feels kind of weird, then it's gonna be less than like 20 minutes.
Yeah, for sure. Well, right on. I got Kung Fu Eddie back on the show with us. We're going to be going over Survivor Series 2005. It's Survivor Series season. It's Thanksgiving season. So
Woo!
I'm glad that you picked this pay per view to go over. But why Survivor Series 2005? Why did you decide to go over this
Man,
one?
that is a nostalgia pick, man. Because obviously, I do. You said any pay per view.
Hmm.
Obviously, you asked me during November, and November it is a Survivor Series tradition. And all my entire life, my early life, I've never watched a pay per view. I've never asked my parents to order it because I didn't even have cable overall.
Hmm.
But the moment I had a cable box, the little black box, if you know, you know.
I know. Yeah, I
the
remember the black box. Yeah,
black box, you got it hooked up with the wires and this and that. You got to get a card for it. So
yeah.
my first pay per view overall, was WrestleMania 20. That was my first pay per view that I stood up and I watched from the beginning to the end, and I finally felt cool enough to go to school the next day and talk about it.
Okay, cool.
Now, the last pay per view, as you can see, where we're interviewing, is 2005 Survivor Series. Why is that the last pay per view? Because my daddy got caught. so, so we had to cut the block. So almost at least 9 months between. I was enjoying Cartoon Network. I was enjoying Toonami. I was enjoying BT 106 The Park, and obviously Raw. Because
Yeah.
another reason why I like this pay per view, because it was the first time that it was Raw versus SmackDown, like a true Raw versus SmackDown. Not like bragging rights, not like the other Survivor Series that was just like, oh, I guess it's Survivor Series, so I guess we have to face each other. No, like this was real gang warfare. I still remember to this day. I was I was a big SmackDown guy. Why? Like I said it before, I never had cable. So all I did my whole wrestling life was UPN SmackDown. I made sure I watched the Jamie Foxx show, half and half, one on one,
Oh,
girlfriends,
I
and then
remember that.
afterwards it was Friday Night SmackDown.
I remember that shit. Well, cool, man. Let's do it, man. I'm ready if you're ready. You ready to get
Dude, I'm
into this
ready.
thing? All right, let's
I'm
do this
ready.
damn
I'm
thing.
ready.
All right, let's go. 2005 Survivor Series with Kung Fu Eddy. Let's get into it, y'all.
All of his stuff looked good, so probably too good because it was probably snug, but he was different in everything that he did. He locked up different. He locked up snug.
Hey, this is your Olympic hero, Kurt Angle, and you're listening to Snug Wrestling. Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Snug Wrestling Podcast. I am Edgar. I am your host. It's Survivor Series time. It's Survivor Series season. So we're gonna go over a Survivor Series from 2005. We're gonna go back in time and relive this amazing Survivor Series PLE with Kung Fu Eddy. Kung Fu Eddy is back in the house. What up, Kung Fu?
Baby, what's up? What's up, everybody? Hopefully, you guys are excited to review this show because I am. Because, like I said in the beginning, this is nostalgia feel. This is the first time that I felt that wrestling was the quote unquote real. Like, I believed it. I was so hooked to the story, and I was just so excited that this was my last pay per view before my daddy lost the cable box.
Yes, the iconic black box. Yes, I remember that thing. So we're gonna
Mhm.
go to Detroit, Michigan, in the Joe Louis Arena, 2005. This was a big Survivor Series, a big feud between Raw and SmackDown.
Mhm.
We had Eric Bischoff at the time was the general manager of Monday Night Raw. Teddy Long, good old Teddy Long, was the general manager of SmackDown. And who is the better brand? This Survivor Series pretty much broke all of that down. But there's a few matches on this card, man, that are main event worthy. And we're going to go over it. So let's start it from the top, man. We
Before we
had,
start by the first match, let's talk about the introduction, the video package, because that's one thing that I feel like WWE, like, hopefully they're getting there. They're slowly getting there. And obviously, we're talking about WWE, but once AEW started doing November Rains by Guns N' Roses for their pay per view, I'm like, okay, I guess we're bringing back old school bands for the video packages, and that's what they did in '05. They
mm,
had the video package. They had that iconic voice guy, which I still don't know who it is, but it's just one of those guys that he does all the introduction for the pay per views. I recognize
mm,
his voice. One thing about it is that I was kind of disappointed about it, even though it is like 19 years ago. But if you were watching it at that moment, you were kind of spoiled by the flickering videos of The Undertaker. Did they
mm,
did that on purpose? I don't know, because Survivor Series is quote unquote The Undertaker's debut pay per view. even though WrestleMania is more iconic to him more than
Oh yeah,
Survivor Series.
that's when the Undertaker was born. Basically, his first appearance in the WWF was at
Mhm.
Survivor Series.
And I tell this to everybody, including my parents. If y'all would have met 3 years early, if y'all would have done your thing 3 years early, me and The Undertaker would have debuted at the same time.
That's funny. Yeah,
But
that's a good
obviously,
point, dude. That's a good point. Undertaker is known for WrestleMania, but sometimes people forget that Survivor Series was where the Undertaker was born. The first time that he showed
mhm.
up with Brother Love, Bruce Pritchard, and the rest is history. And we'll get
Oh, for
into the
sure.
Undertaker more.
We will,
We're
and
not
y'all
gonna get.
see, y'all gonna see why that I
Yep.
had to point that out first because they pointed it out, so now it's in my brain. But let's
Yeah.
continue.
Let's continue. The main event of this Survivor Series is the Survivor Series 10-man elimination tag team match, the traditional Survivor Series match. And I just want to go down the teams really quick before we get started for the main event. On the SmackDown side, we had Batista, who was a world heavyweight champion at the time, JBL, Rey Mysterio, Bobby Lashley, Randy Orton, the Legend Killer at the time. And on Monday
Mhm.
Night Raw, what do you, Kung Fu Eddie, why don't you give us the names of the members from the Monday Night Raw team?
I don't have it written down, but
Oh,
because this pay per view is so iconic, I have it right here. It was Shawn Michaels as the leader, Chris Masters, Carlito, and the tag team championship champions from Raw, Big Show and Kane.
absolutely 1000% correct. So that's the main event of the Survivor Series. And we're going to go down the line this match card. The first match was a great match, also. It was Booker T
Mhm.
wrestling the Invisible Man. Booker T
Yes,
was wrestling someone, was wrestling. It was like Booker T was in the ring by himself. He was like, he
and Charmel was just like, "Yes, that's my king, baby." Even though this was pre-King.
Yeah, even though there was no one else in the ring, Booker T was putting on like a class with the audience of how to sell because it was Booker T by himself. No, I'm just kidding. Booker T wrestled Chris Benoit to open up the
Yes,
Survivor Series, the guy that shall not be named, but we're gonna name him here because regardless, um, Chris Benoit was a
talking
great.
about the character, not the person.
Yes, yes, exactly. This was for the United States title.
Hold on.
Uh,
It was for the undisputed United States Championship. Why did they trademark it like that? No idea. But because of that name title, it really got to me. And the commentator, shout out to Taz and Michael Cole, and obviously the man behind the ear, which is another dude who shall not name, that was trademarking
the
that
other
phrase.
Invisible Man.
He ain't invisible enough. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Yeah,
Because his
dude.
wife. Anyway, no, never mind. Anyways, so
Ex-wife.
going back, yeah, exactly. We if you saw the news, you saw the news. Our educational system is about to be amazing. I'm glad I graduated it. Anyways, so I'm about to do hurricanranas and PE, man. Watch me.
Yeah,
Okay,
for real.
back to serious. Okay, they trademarked this match as the undisputed United States Championship. You can never hear that nowadays, man. Like
Yeah.
it is just the regular United States title. It's just the regular IC title. The only thing that's undisputed is the World Heavyweight Championship. I mean, not the World Heavyweight, but the WWE Universal Belt, which Cody has currently. But just the fact that this was for the undisputed, it kind of made it really big, especially
Mhm.
because of that undisputed word. Do
Yeah.
you feel the same way?
Oh, yeah, it makes a big difference, dude. But my question to you is why do you remember why they trademarked it like that?
Just to make it feel important, honestly, because they did. This is the second time they did that. I think the first time they did that was, I think it was probably was John Cena versus either Orlando Jordan
Hmm.
or somebody like that, because obviously John Cena debuted the spinner belt, the iconic US spinner belt. But because JBL in his cabinet was like, nah, this is trash, this is hip hop, I don't understand this, I'm a white conservative. Even though nowadays I kind of agree with JBL's political views nowadays. Anyways, again, none of that. Anyways, and he was just like, no, this is trash, this is buried. So they threw it in the trash and they brought out the design that was the most long reigning design for the
Yeah.
longest time. And from that design, I think that John Cena brought back the spinner belt because I think he beat Orlando Jordan. And then it became to
Mm.
that, like, no, like, we're going to keep the design. This is our design. And then John Cena had the spinner belt. So they challenged each other to be like, who the undisputed champion. But at the end of the day, John Cena was the champion. It's just
Wow.
Orlando Jordan was probably holding it. I could be completely wrong, but I do remember that storyline that JBL throw down the spinner belt to the trash can and lit it on fire and brought out the new title.
Well, no, that's what we're here for, dude. We're here to go over the Survivor Series how you remember it. So I'm gonna
Oh, for
take your
sure.
word for it, dude. I'm glad you brought
Well,
that up. That's very interesting. That's very
yeah.
interesting.
And if but for the Invisible Man and Booker T, the reason why they're fighting for the belt, not only they're doing this for a match, they're doing it at the best of 7 series.
It
And
is. It was the best. Yeah.
this was like the first time I've ever witnessed two competitors facing each other 7 times.
Hmm.
Because I do remember the next day on SmackDown, which was on Tuesday, again after Girlfriends, I was watching that the SmackDown special because that was the match 2, but this one was match 1. So in match
Hmm.
1, the reason that happened is because they had the double pin. So they did
Correct.
the double pin. From the double pin, they're like, "No, I'm the champion. No, I'm the champion." And then Teddy Long was like, "Wait a minute, player. We know how to settle this. Y'all used to do this in WCW, so I'm gonna steal this idea. Best of 7. Let's do it, baby."
Mm. That was another thing that I noticed too. That was mentioned a lot during the Survivor Series was Taboo Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember
I
that?
think Taboo. I think Taboo Tuesday was between, which we'll get there, was Triple H and Ric Flair because that was the revenge match. The the
Was
Booker
that a
T and
pay
the
per
Invisible.
view?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Taboo Tuesday was like a pay per view, but it was on Tuesday because it was like one of those like quote unquote specials, like Saturday Night Main Event, and then they also did Tuesday in Texas. They've done like weekday pay per view specials, and Taboo Tuesday was like brought it back
Mm.
with the concept of like fans voting and all that stuff. Which, I mean, the question is, did you ever go online and vote?
No, I never did that.
Oh, I did that during my school hours.
Yeah. Or you can pick what matches you want to see and stuff, right?
What match, who you face, because I think it was Chris Jericho versus Shelton Benjamin, because Shelton Benjamin won the chance to face Chris Jericho, and that's an example. And then there's other matches stipulation from like ambulance match, street fight match,
Mm.
all that good stuff. So, but yeah, so going back to Booker T and the Invisible Man, like that match was really solid in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we all acknowledge that Chris Benoit is a piece of shit, but at the end of the
Yeah.
day, he is the greatest performer of all time.
Absolutely. Yeah, and just how you said it, this was a best of series match for the undisputed United States Championship. 2 days before Survivor Series on SmackDown, Booker T and Chris Benoit faced each other. There was a double pin, which kind of turned out to be like a tie in a sense. So
Hmm.
Teddy Long decided to book the 7 series. The match at Survivor Series 2005 was the first match. Booker T ended up getting the win after a great match versus Chris Benoit, thanks to Charmel,
The
basically
distraction,
the
the distraction
distraction.
from the
Booker T
queen itself.
Booker T got the pin over Chris Benoit by getting his foot on the rope, and that was the first match. This match was really good. Booker T went up 1-0 at the Survivor Series. Do you remember who ended up winning this best of series match?
I believe it was the Invisible Man himself. I think they stretch it out to the point that, like, I think on the following Tuesday, I think Chris Benoit got that victory, and then it became like so on and so forth to the point that I think it was Chris Benoit that got the final victory because afterwards I think Booker T became King Booker
Hmm.
afterwards.
Yeah, not a bad way to open up this Survivor Series pay per view,
Yes,
man.
and I also wrote down the star ratings, and I want to see if you agree
Oh,
or disagree.
all
But first,
right.
how about this? How about this? How about guess the stars? How about you guess the stars? I have it written down. I don't know if you written down for the stars.
Oh, I
So
don't care about the stars, but I'm glad you did.
I kind of do because it kind of I don't follow Dave Meltzer's opinion, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, I kind of
It's
agree with
still
that. Just a match.
interesting.
It
Yeah,
is interesting
it's
because it's like
interesting.
one person's opinion, but at the end of the day, like you could kind of understand where he comes from. So
So, yeah,
guess the star rating for the Booker T versus Chris Benoit Undisputed Championship Best of 7 match 1. How
I'ma
many stars
say
did Dave
Imma
give it?
say Dave gave this match 3.5 stars.
Very close. He gave it a solid 3.
Oh, wow, I was gonna say 3 too, motherfucker. Damn.
He
Um,
gave it a solid 3. Do you agree
I
or disagree?
I would agree with that. I would agree with that because it was the opening match. It was kind of a way to, kinda set the
Spiced up.
tone for the show, you know? The people were into it, but they not really. I think it's
Yeah, this
fair.
was
I
for
think it's
the
fair.
hardcore fans. This is for the like the technicians and work rate guys. So,
Yes.
which I did appreciate. I personally did appreciate.
Yeah, me too. This was one of my favorite matches of the night for sure. Yeah, that was one hell of a match. Anything else you want to add about this match before we move on to the next one?
Honestly, if we would if Chris Benoit didn't do what he did, I would suggest let's watch all this best of 7. But because he
Mhm.
did what he did, I don't bother watching it. But
Yeah.
if there's another best of 7 other than Carmelo Hayes and Andrade, I definitely will be down to watch it.
Yeah, for sure. Up next, we had a women's match. The WWE Women's Championship was on the line between Trish Stratus, the current champion, and Melina, the challenger. 2 days
Let's re
before this,
let's rephrase that. It is Trish Stratus representing Raw and Melina representing SmackDown because this was the first inter promotion match.
thank you for pointing that out. So, were all of these matches Raw versus SmackDown all the way down the line?
Only 3 of them. So the women's match, the GM match, and the 10-man tag. Triple H versus Ric Flair was just a Raw exclusive. The best of 7 was only a SmackDown exclusive.
Perfect. Okay, thank you for that. So yeah, so
These
we had
notes,
the
guys. These
first.
notes.
Good, man. You came prepared. I love it, dude. Yeah, I rewatched this pay-per-view, man, but a lot of stuff went over my head, like the little things like the undisputed thing and stuff like that. So I'm
Mhm.
glad that you caught those, man. Those are important. So yeah, so 2 days before this on SmackDown to hype up this match or how this match came about was the MNM Mercury and what was the other guy's name?
Nitro.
Nitro. They're the tag team champions over on SmackDown at the time,
SmackDown.
right?
Mm-hmm.
They actually kidnapped Trish Stratus. They
That's
snatched
not
her.
because in WWE, that's how you request a championship match. You just kidnap somebody.
Yep. Yeah, we've seen it recently again with the Miz. This is
Oh yeah.
yeah, except it wasn't for a championship, but yeah, these two random guys dressed in all black snatched up Lita, and it ended up being
Mm.
Eminem. And then Melina made the challenge while Trish Stratus was tied down to a chair with tape around her mouth and said, "Me and you at Survivor Series for that championship." So Trish Stratus, the fighting champion that she is, agreed to the match, and we're off to the races for Survivor Series. But um, Trish Stratus still ended up retaining at Survivor Series. She
Mhm.
kept her championship with a little bit of help. Mickey James was
Mickey
actually
James.
ringside for this match, and she got her hands dirty a little bit. And there was a
I
lot
was
of,
cheating out here.
yeah, Eminem was out there. They got thrown out of the match after trying to hit their finisher on Trish Stratus behind the referee's back.
It
Overall,
was wild.
it was a wild and entertaining match. But tell me, Kung Fu Eddie, what do you remember most about this match?
Just the fact that it was the first match that was Raw versus SmackDown, and then it was the commentators of Raw and SmackDown, which was Joey Styles and Taz. Taz, you out here tripping. You way too horny for this match, bro. I'm gonna point that out right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was the first like respectable Raw versus SmackDown, but they didn't really call it. But because of the commentators, the audience at home, they realized, oh, this is Raw versus SmackDown. Because we never hear Joey Styles, a Raw commentator, commentate with Taz, a SmackDown color commentator. So now us in the audience, we're like, okay, this is Raw versus SmackDown. One thing I really did like was that this was a really good match. Like for the quote unquote bra and panties era, this was a pretty good freaking match. I really like the fact that Melina was still probably new. Trish Stratus was like close to retirement, but she was like getting better as a worker. And just the fact that this match happened, this was really, really cool match. And I really appreciated the work rate between these women.
Absolutely. No, yeah. I mean, this was they were showing their skills. They were showing what they had out there in the ring, these two women. And they really did they brought out all the stunts, man. They kept things interesting. They kept it moving. And yeah, it was one hell of a women's match. And this was Trish Stratus ended up retaining this one. During this time, this was a time where Trish Stratus was like, she was like the shit during this time, right? She was like really over, really popular. So the right person won this match, I think, right?
Oh, for sure, 100%. Yeah, Melina, she's the valet. I think they just did this because it's Raw versus SmackDown. And I guarantee you, if we look at the roster of SmackDown women, it was probably Melina, Tori Wilson, Dawn Marie, and Sable. All the women were on Raw because the championship was on Raw. Because again, the reason that it was so different between Raw and SmackDown, Raw had the women, SmackDown had the cruiserweights, which again made me really love SmackDown even more.
Now, one of the questions that I should have asked before we got started, what do you think was the better brand in this time? Was it Raw or SmackDown? What were you a bigger fan of during this time?
I'm gonna tell you this right now. It has to be SmackDown.
Yeah.
SmackDown was the quote unquote work rate show. That was the best match. I mean, the best brand, honestly. And I might be biased because I did watch Raw, but I sadly watched Raw in Spanish in Telemundo with Hugo Savitar and Carlos Cabrera. So they were my commentators for Raw. So
yeah,
at the end of the day, I still believe SmackDown was the better brand. I had Eddie Guerrero, I had John Cena.
But Eddie Guerrero had already passed away at this point, though, right?
Yes. Oh, so doing right now, yes. But Eddie passed away, so right now they had like Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, JBL. They had Paul London, and Brian Kendrick, Batista. So they had a good roster, and then like I said, the Invisible Man, Booker T. I had so many good people, but yeah, to be honest, it definitely does show that Raw had the heavier hitters, but SmackDown had the best workers. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, most definitely, and we'll talk more about that for the main event. But speaking of main events, this next match, I was surprised that it wasn't the main event.
We gotta talk about the star rating.
Oh, that's right.
What is the star rating for the women's championship match between Trish Stratus, Raw, and Melina, SmackDown?
I'm gonna say Dave gave this match a good old 2 stars.
2.25 stars.
God damn, I forgot this motherfucker does quarters too.
Honestly, I would have give it 2 more quarters. I would have given it 2 3/4. It was really good. Throughout the whole series, this was a pretty good match. This was definitely a sleeper match.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, for sure. Well, man, I'm almost getting them right though, man. I should maybe start my own fucking star rating system or something.
I'm telling you, man. If you can do it, I can do it. Everybody can do it.
That's right. the next match, it was Ric Flair, the Nature Boy, woo, and Papa H, Triple H, Paul Levesque, and this
Another
was
great video package.
yeah, it was a great video package. This was a last man standing match. This is a rematch. The previous match was Hell in a Cell,
Taboo
right? If I'm not mistaken.
Taboo Tuesday. It was just a regular cage match.
Regular cage match, full of blood
Mhm.
though. Really gory match. Even though
Yes,
this match that they did at Survivor Series was also gory. The one before that also had a whole lot of juice. And at this time, Ric Flair was an Intercontinental Champion.
which
Um,
I put in bold. I put Ric Flair was an IC champion? Question mark! Exclamation point! Question mark! Exclamation point! Because I was like, what? When? Uh-oh. Mr. Mr. Edgar got frozen, y'all. Anyways, so hopefully he doesn't mind that I will take over the show just a little bit until he comes back on. So with Triple H versus Ric Flair, honestly, the last man standing, it had to be a must. This was two guys that just got out of a heavy faction um, of Evolution because Randy and Batista are on SmackDown, and Ric Flair was blamed by Triple H when he lost the World Heavyweight Championship to Batista. And just the fact that Ric Flair was IC champion, it made the title less relevant because I feel like this matchup was more important than the title. So honestly, like Ric Flair should have never been the IC champion. I don't know why they gave it to him, but they did. I mean, booking was booking, and my friend Ed got his back.
Dude, sorry about that, man. My computer
No
just
worries.
restarted. Hold on, give me a minute here so I can
You're good. You're good.
start it.
I was just telling the audience like why did Ric Flair have the IC belt? Like it made no sense.
All right, hold that thought. I'm gonna ask you to restart here in a little bit. Let me get my P's and Q's back up. Fuck,
For
dude,
sure.
that's
For
so
sure.
stupid.
Mm-mm-mm.
All right. So from the top, dude, again, you were gonna talk about Ric Flair's Intercontinental Championship.
Why? That's basically it. Like this match, the grudge match was more important than the belt. So I feel like it kind of downgraded the IC belt. I feel like someone else could have had it, or the IC belt could have been involved in the 10-man tag or whatever. But I
Yeah,
feel like Ric Flair didn't need the IC belt. And we talk about this with my other friend from Phil. Like when people talk about the John Cena, should he be the 17-time champion, or should he go to the IC belt? I'm like, it doesn't make sense. He should have won the IC belt when he was young. Now that he's older, it has to be 17. It makes no
yeah,
sense. Like, I understand you wanted to become a Grand Slam champion. Whoopie doo. Like, The Miz is a 2-time Grand Slam champion, but The Miz deserves it more than John Cena. I'm gonna be keep it 100, but John Cena does deserve the 17 title.
fuck the Miz.
And hey, man,
No,
at
just
the end of the day,
kidding. No, just kidding.
At the end
Yeah.
of the day, Miz has a hot wife, a house in L.A. What can we complain about?
Yeah, yeah,
Nothing.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Nothing.
Well, yeah, dude, you're right about the Intercontinental Championship. Even when this match started, this was a last man standing match, non-title match. Ric Flair came out to the ring with the robe and the title. It was a
Mhm.
jump start. Triple H attacked Ric Flair before the bell rang, takes the title off of Ric Flair and just throws it. The Intercontinental
It
Championship.
it makes it even worse.
Yeah,
Makes it even worse that like it means nothing.
yeah. So, last man standing rules, you have to knock out your opponent for at least 10 seconds to get the victory. And these guys, man, they use chairs, kendo sticks, screwdrivers. Ric Flair was the only one that got juice in this match. Triple H,
He said, "Oh God, ah."
yeah, dude. And it was pretty much all Triple H in this throughout this whole entire match.
You know what's so funny? I even put in a note. Ric Flair bled back then so that people like Moxley could bleed and become legendary.
Jesus, I don't know about Moxley and legendary being in the same sentence, but
Hold
there
on,
was a
hold
shit
on,
ton of blood
hold
in
on,
this match.
hold on. If we got to do the calculations, which I am the man of the numbers, I
Yes, yes,
guarantee
yes.
you, Ric Flair has a higher percentage because we have to do percentages. Because if we do by numbers, obviously Ric Flair wins, but we do by percentages. I guarantee you, Ric Flair bleeds more in his matches than John Moxley. But
There
he's a
was a
legend,
lot of
right? But he's a legend, right? All right,
Ric
cool.
Flair is a legend.
All right, but
Ric,
Moxley bleeds in a match. He's doing too much.
yes, he is.
Okay, but Ric Flair does it. He's a legend. Cool.
Yeah,
All right, cool.
because here's why.
Okay,
When does Ric Flair bleed?
in pay-per-views.
Yes, when in the important matches, in the matches that matter,
Okay, and remember that important matches.
important matches like this one. This was a last man
All right.
standing match. This was a feud, a ongoing feud, a grudge feud with Triple H, where they had various, multiple matches. Their last match was a Hell in a Cell. This match,
Regular cage match.
oh, sorry, it was a cage match. This match was a last man standing. So it makes sense for Ric Flair to get color as opposed to when John Moxley does it. If there was a point in time where John Moxley was doing it every fucking week versus the most randomest people ever in the most randomest matches ever.
I name them.
I can't because they're so random. They like mean nothing. I can't name them
All right.
because I don't remember them because that's how much
We'll
it
do another
means.
video. We'll do another video. Raw versus it'll be bleeding versus bleeding.
Yeah,
negative O versus negative AB positive, which is Ric
yeah,
Flair versus Dean Ambrose. I mean John Moxley. Either way,
yeah.
and we're gonna do the percentages. We're gonna look at each match. I guarantee you, Ric Flair probably bled for Umaga, and it didn't mean nothing.
We'll see. We'll see. I'm down for that though. But yeah, so this match, Triple H ended up getting the win after hitting 3 pedigrees on Ric Flair, but Ric Flair refused to stay down. So Triple H had to result and go back to his old dirty ways and took out his trusty sledgehammer, hit Ric Flair
Damn.
with the sledgehammer. Ric Flair is out for the 10 count. Triple H won this match. Um, what did you remember about this match, and what was the star rating for this one? I'm assuming it's got to be a little bit higher, right?
All right. So you know how I said that the women's match was a sleeper match for me, that it was like surprisingly good.
Yeah.
This match actually put me to sleep, so I had to rewatch it again.
What? Really?
It was so boring. I am sorry. And I put this on my notes. Either I was
Wow.
bored or sleepy, or I'm so used to hardcore matches nowadays that this match was kind of desensitized to me.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is.
I'll admit, the stuff that I'm watching nowadays with GCW, local wrestling. Shout out to local wrestling here in Houston. I'm used to harder core stuff.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I'll admit that. But at
yeah.
the end of the day, the way Triple H was moving, the way Ric Flair was moving, I guarantee you Triple H was probably had to slow himself down for Ric Flair. Because again, a 50-year-old Ric Flair compared to a 60-year-old Billy Gunn,
Yeah.
they're two different workers.
You know what I think you didn't like this match as much? It's because
Don't
there
say
was
because I'm not a Raw guy.
no, 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 no. I was gonna say because there was actually these guys were actually selling in this match, and it actually made sense psychologically.
Oh yeah, they were sounding like this. Ah, ah, ah,
Well, yeah, I mean
ah,
that's what happens when you get
ah.
hit when you get hit over the head with a steel chair
'Cause
or like a
what
kendo
did what
stick
did
or something.
Mr. Marky Mark said? If you're not selling, you gotta do it slow. And if you feel like you're going slow, go slower.
Yeah, dude, that's I mean, really, I mean,
Whatever.
if you're bleeding puddles of blood the way that Ric Flair is, you don't think that you'll be maybe a little dazed, maybe a little slow in your
Look, man.
motion? Like,
That's Hey man. Between you and
yeah,
I got shot. Okay? This little dimple you see right here, that's a
yeah.
gunshot wound. When I got shot, I didn't slow down. My adrenaline kicked in. I went like the Young Bucks. I started doing super kicks.
Oh, come on.
Nobody believes me. Nobody believes that I legit went like Wolverine. I went berserk. I
Mhm,
legit because I went from flight to fight. So at the end of
mhm.
the day, I will say this right now. I saw my own blood and I went crazy. So
Mm.
I don't care what Triple H and Undertaker and Ric Flair said. When you bleed, you don't slow down, brother.
Oh, man, that's crazy. Okay.
Now
What
the
was the
star
star
rating.
rating? Yeah.
No. You tell me. You got to tell me, and I will tell you if you're right or wrong.
Well, the opening match, he gave 3.5 stars, right?
Solid 3,
A 3. Okay, so
and
this
then the
one he gave
second one was 2 and a quarter.
so then this one he gave 3.5.
Very close.
Damn
Three
it.
and 3 and 3/4.
Fuck, again, off by a fucking quarter. Okay.
So, and you know what? And spoiler alert. Even though you haven't been spoiled for 19 years, this was the highest rated match.
Okay.
So don't say Dave Meltzer is a hater, because this boring match was the highest rated match. I fell asleep twice. I tried my best. And at this point, I'm
uh
like, you know what? Whatever.
I don't have to say that Dave Meltzer is a hater. It kind of goes without saying already at this point.
You got to remind people. One man's opinion is another man's. Yeah, whatever. Anyways. All
Yeah.
right. So between these matches, we had some segments. I don't know
Yeah.
if you have segments in your notes, but the first segment was a backstage segment between the SmackDown team.
Mhm.
This is all I put in. Randy Orton is being a hater.
Mhm.
JBL is a goddamn instigator.
Mhm.
Rey Mysterio is a loyalist. Bobby Lashley has no personality.
Yeah, he was just
He's
standing there.
he
He's
was
just
just doing
standing
this.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know what to
Yeah.
do.
I think he said like 2 words maybe in that backstage segment or
Yeah, he
something.
said, he looked at Batista. He's like, "I'm with you, buddy," or something
Yeah.
like that. And then the last thing I
And
put,
his
Batista
like
spit all down
soft
the
ass
table.
voice too. Like he's so soft spoken
Yeah,
too. Like
I didn't even hear what he said. Like, yeah, I
yeah.
had like me personally, when I watch anything, I put the subtitles just in case I miss something. And yeah, he was just like, "I'm with you right away," and he get the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I love JBL because every single time Randy Orton was being a hater, like, Batista's so weak. How weak is he? He's like, so weak, man. He's out here like, embarrassing us. He's an embarrassment. And then Ray's like, "God, I'm not there, man. What's up, dog?
Yeah.
We're doing this, dog. We gotta stick together." And then Randy
Yeah.
Orton's like, "Let me tell you something about this man. Tell him about this man." And then Batista comes out and he's like, "Yeah, tell him about the man. Yeah, yeah, yeah."
Didn't JBL also was like, "Can we get a translator or something like that?" When
Yeah,
Ray
he
was
did say,
speaking? Yeah.
because Rey Mysterio was singing Spanish.
Yeah. The only thing that I was wondering about this segment, what was the tension between Randy Orton and Batista? Was this like right after Revolution had broken up or something?
Revolution, evolution.
Evolution, my bad. My bad.
No
You
worries.
know what I mean.
Um, no, I think it's just competitors, because I
Okay.
didn't think there was no storyline between the guys, because
Okay.
it was Randy Orton. He was cocky because the past, I think they mentioned it, the past 3 Survivor Series, he was the only sole survivor, so he wanted to be team captain.
Mhm.
And then a lot of people, I don't know, because knowing WWE, they made Eddie Guerrero the storyline. technically Randy Orton's spot was supposed to be Eddie Guerrero's spot because
Yeah.
Eddie Guerrero won the chance to become part of Team SmackDown, but because he
Wow.
passed away, they just gave
Wow.
it to Randy Orton.
Wow, that's fucking crazy.
So I think somewhere in between. If I'm incorrect, please correct me, guys. Batista was probably say you didn't even earn this spot; they just gave it to you. So I think that's
Mm.
how it started. And then Randy Orton was like, the reason why they gave it to me is because the last 3 Survivor Series, I became the sole survivor, so I'm a guaranteed winner. So I think
Mm.
that's the part. And then
And
because now Batista's injured, I guess Randy Orton was like, you see, he's weak. He's weak. He doesn't have us.
Gotcha. Okay. Did you want to talk about the segment with Edge after that?
Yes.
Okay.
Because
So Edge
oh
at this
five.
time was the Edge at this time was a Money in the Bank briefcase holder. He was the winner of the Money in the Bank. He was with Lita during this time, and he had like a segment during the Survivor Series where he pretty much cut a promo on the
Troy,
special invited guest who was
Dimitri Young,
yeah, well, a baseball player for the Tigers, right?
I
Was
believe
it
the Detroit not Lions. Lions is football.
yeah.
Tigers is baseball. Yes.
So Edge had a little back and forth banter with him, and he actually cut a good promo on Edge when he had the mic. So,
And
what
I
is it
also
about
put
this
this little
segment that you liked? Mhm.
that that '05. All you people in Detroit in '05, y'all should be ashamed of yourself. Calling this poor woman a slut.
Oh yeah, they were slut
Who
shaming
raised
Lita, man.
who raised y'all?
This was during a time where,
I
yeah,
don't give me that excuse.
the
Don't you dare
fans.
give me that excuse.
No, I mean it was a different time. We're talking about almost 20 years ago where the fans were a lot crazier and so was the product. The WWE product was a little bit crazier during that time too.
Yeah, they were cheering for women like 3 segments ago about how great they're having a match. Then the next 3 segments, they're calling another woman a slut. That's crazy.
Yeah. The good times, man, the good old days.
The good old days back when we used to call women sluts.
God damn, dude. No, I was
Or
tripped out by
entertainment.
that too. I was like, "Holy shit." But yeah, yeah, that was a nice trip down memory lane, man. Dude, freaking Edge and Lita during that time where they were doing the cutting edge,
Yeah, I
right?
think that's what he introduced the cutting edge to the audience that he was going to do it the following night on Raw. So yeah,
Yeah.
so that
And
that
I'm
was the
I'm
whole
pretty
point of the
sure
segment.
yeah, and I'm pretty sure the cutting edge was when they did that freaking that home video in the middle of the ring, right?
No, well, that was like a couple of months afterwards. Once Edge cashed in those Money in the Bank, he talked about the live sex celebration,
Yes, that one.
which to this day, everybody, every single party said that
They hated it.
they hated that.
Well, yeah,
Edge,
no
Lita,
shit. That
even
was
even
so
Mick
cringy.
even Mick Foley said it a couple of times. He's like, I wanted to fight McMahon. I wanted to fight him.
Yeah.
He's
No,
like,
I
he was
bet,
like,
dude.
you will never do your daughter like that. And Vince McMahon said, like, I crucified my own daughter.
See what I mean, dude? Different times. Different times,
Yeah,
Eddie.
yeah, whatever.
All right, let's
And
move on. Let's move on to the next match. This is another match that, in my opinion, had the potential to be the main event
mm-hmm.
because it was Kurt Angle, a friend of the show, a friend of Snug Wrestling, versus John Cena, who at the time was the WWE champion. And this was when John Cena was carrying around that ugly ass spinner belt. And
Don't be a hater.
um so Kurt Angle and Cena, they were kind of feuding for a while before this match, and it built
Mm-hmm.
up to Kurt Angle having his own special guest referee. So Kurt Angle single-handedly picked Davari as his special guest referee. So the odds were kind of against John Cena in this match because Davari was a biased referee. He was obviously on Kurt Angle's side. And throughout this match, Davari was doing a whole bunch of shenanigans, refusing to.
He's a
Yeah,
heel.
he's a heel. Yeah, refusing to count John Cena's pins, not letting Cena use the rope breaks, and just pretty much helping out Kurt Angle the whole way through. But John Cena still managed to get the win after Davari got knocked out. There was like 3 different referees throughout this whole entire match until finally John Cena was able to get the win.
Let's point out it was 3 different referees from Raw, but it took a SmackDown referee to call the pin. And you know why they did that, right?
It's a conspiracy.
Mm-hmm. So Kurt Angle can add another layer to the feud the following week to keep the match growing. So I kind of like the fact that it took a SmackDown referee to make the pin because it made the feud even grow even more.
Okay.
And shout out to heel coach, man. Heel coach out here hating.
Yeah, the coachman, he was one of the commentators too, man. Him and Taz were going at it with each other throughout
We'll
this.
get there. We'll get there. We'll
Yeah.
get there. All
But
right.
yeah,
Guess the star rating for this match. Guess the star rating for John Cena versus Kurt Angle for the WWE Championship with Davari as a special guest referee.
well, you said the most was 3.5, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
3 3/4.
3 3/4 was the most. Dave Meltzer is a hater, so I'm gonna say he gave this one 2.5 stars.
Wow. You give him no credit. He gave it a solid 3.
No, I don't give that guy any credit, man. I don't. I really don't.
Hey,
Kurt Angle never got 5 stars, bro. That don't make no sense, bro.
that part I agree. That part I agree.
Oh, what's up?
That
Mike
part I agree.
Omega's on the chat. What's up, Mike? Shout out to Mike
What's
Omega.
up, Mike?
Friend of the
What
show.
up, Mike?
Yeah. But yeah, anything else you want to add about this Kurt Angle versus John Cena match?
Honestly, it was a really good match, but it wasn't like a memorable match because I feel like they have better matches.
Mm.
I honestly feel like they have better matches. I feel like this match had to happen because it was part of the layers. Because you know, every match has its layers. They had a good match, decent match, awesome match, greatest match of all time. So I feel like this one was like an okay match. It's not the worst, but I feel like it served its purpose because they add another layer because of the SmackDown referee counting to 3. I guarantee you the following night, Kurt Angle made his plea to Eric Bischoff because Eric Bischoff is the heel manager. Yeah. So I guarantee you, he'll probably like, you know what, Kurt, you're right. John Cena, you screwed him over. Here's another match.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of Eric Bischoff also had a match on this card, Survivor Series 2005.
Let me put my head down, y'all.
Versus none other than Holla Holla Holla, Theodore Teddy Long, general manager versus general manager. And I gotta say, if Dave Meltzer did not give this match 5 stars, then I'm gonna be pissed. Nah, I'm just kidding.
Would you rather just guess the match rating for this match right now?
I just gotta say, this was so terrible, and I wasn't expecting to have like a fucking, a crazy wrestling match like Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels or nothing like that. Because obviously it's Eric Bischoff and Teddy Long, but even like the stuff that they did in this match made no fucking sense. Like Teddy Long came out with some white guy. I can't even remember his name.
Oh, the Network. He was the Network.
The Network. He was on Teddy Long's side, right?
Yes.
He was. There was also 2 referees in this match. One for Raw, one for SmackDown.
Yeah, because just to make things quote unquote fair. But I think they mentioned it for the Raw versus SmackDown, the 10-man, is that one of the referees flipped the coin, and then the winner is inside the ring, and then the loser is outside of the ring, but they're both officiating the match.
So they were both in this match, but the Network somehow was distracting both referees so Eric Bischoff can get the upper hand on Teddy Long. The guy that came out with Teddy Long was distracting for Eric Bischoff. That made no fucking sense.
Hey, Network, wherever you at, man, hopefully you're doing all right, man, because your wrestling career did not last long.
And then the Boogeyman, his music hits, and both of the referees go out of the ring to try to stop the Boogeyman. The Boogeyman appears behind Eric Bischoff, and the Boogeyman takes out Eric Bischoff. And I'm like, where the hell do the referees go? Like, are they not
Two
seeing
referees.
both of these referees? Are they not seeing what's going on? Apparently, they are somehow magically blinded or something. Everything about this was so fucking bad. Thanks to the Boogeyman, Teddy Long got the win, but it's just like, what the fuck? Yeah, it was so bad.
It was very pointless. This match was. I'm surprised this match didn't put me to sleep. But I did put that, like, the only thing entertaining about this match was Michael Cole and Coach calling this match. That was the only thing that was entertaining about this match.
Yeah.
So over here, Michael Cole was like trying to call it like Luthez versus Harley Race match, and then the heel coach was like, oh, these are Doite clowns, you know, and it was like different types of commentating between these two. So I just laughed at that.
Yeah.
So I just put Teddy won, which made a tie between Raw versus SmackDown. Because remember, Raw has the first victory with Trish Stratus. Now Teddy Long got the other victory, so it made it tied between Raw versus SmackDown. Guess the star rating for this damn match.
A half a star.
-1.5 stars.
Fuck. Damn.
Dave Meltzer was out here
hated it, bro. He hated
it. Like, hey, Eric Bischoff, remember when you talk smack?
Dude. Hey, you know what though? I agree with that one though, man. Jesus, that was so bad. I'm sorry. I love Eric Bischoff too, man. But no, that was not good, bro. It was not good. Yeah. All right. Are you ready for the main event, Kung Fu?
Hell yeah, baby. Let's get to the main event.
The traditional Survivor Series 10-man elimination match, Raw versus SmackDown on Team SmackDown. Once again, Batista, the world champion, JBL, Rey Mysterio, Bobby Lashley, and the Legend Killer, Randy Orton. And over on Monday Night Raw, we had...
I was about to say Randy Orton. He was about to betray him. Shawn Michaels, Carlito, Chris Masters, the tag team champions, Kane and Big Show.
So, just to give a quick rundown of this main event of Survivor Series 2005, Bobby Lashley looked really impressive to start off the match, but he was the first one to get eliminated. And then
before we go through all of that, I know we have to do it really quick. So I like the whole backstage where all the brands were cheering their guys. They're like, yeah, man, represent, yeah, represent. I just wanted to point that one out because, again, it made the match more serious because, like I said, the highest rated match was a legit sleepy match, and this match was not high rated. I don't know if because it was nostalgia for me, but I feel like this match should have been higher rated. But go ahead with Bobby Lashley getting eliminated because he had no personality.
Yeah, Bobby Lashley was the first one to get eliminated. Bobby Lashley was probably one of the most physically impressive looking athletes besides Chris Masters. When both of these guys got in the ring together, there was like a nice little moment there where the crowd was like, "Oh shit!" But that didn't last very long.
Yeah, Kane did a choke slam outside of the ring apron that caused Bobby Lashley to lose his balance, and then Chris Masters did the pin, which I was just like, and it proved the point because I put this in all boats. Taz is a professional hater. He was hating. He was just like telling Joey Styles, if I wanted you to talk, I put my hand up your so I make you talk. Like, hey coach, watch your mouth, boy. And then like Jerry the King like puppies. So like, hey man, how about you shove those puppies right up your ass?
Yeah.
Like every single time somebody talked from Raw, like Taz had to say something.
Then shortly after that, we had a brief moment where we saw Shawn Michaels and Rey Mysterio in the ring, where
Mm-hmm.
Michael Cole called this a dream match, which got me
Which
thinking. We never got to see that, did we? Did we
no,
ever get to see
no,
Shawn
we did.
Michaels versus Rey? Okay.
We did. It was 5 years. It was 5 years too late. I still remember it. It was Christian DX versus Rey Mysterio and somebody, and then the following night it became Shawn Michaels versus Rey Mysterio.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Dave Batista was in the Smash the World
Now,
Champion.
hold on. Before we go to that, that spot should have been Eddie. Like Bruce Pritchard said that spot should have been Eddie because that was their selling point. They were gonna make Shawn Michaels versus Eddie Guerrero at WrestleMania 21 or 22,
Mm,
whichever WrestleMania. I think it was 22. My bad, because Eddie's last WrestleMania was 21 against Ray. So yeah, that
okay.
spot should have been for Eddie. Just to point
Okay.
that out. I had to put that in there.
No, yeah, good point. Batista, the world heavyweight champion, he was all taped up during this match because he's been suffering, getting put through tables and getting beat up
Hitting with
basically
pipes, going through cars.
by the hands of the Raw tag team champions Kane and the Big Show. So when Dave
Mhm,
Batista got his hands on Kane during this match, the crowd exploded. They went
mhm.
crazy.
It was the
Batista
first hope spot.
Batista then eliminated Kane, but Kane refused to leave the ring. Then Kane and Big Show, it took both of these
I,
guys, both
I
of the
remember that.
champions, to eliminate Dave Batista. So Dave Batista, the world champion, got pinned in this match, but only after both Kane and Big Show had to do the bidding. But yeah, then we had a 3-on-4. The Raw team had the advantage at some point, but
Mhm.
Shawn Michaels ended up being outnumbered 1-on-3. SmackDown had
Hold on. Can
three.
we? Can we? I know. We gotta hurry up. But at the end of the day, I really want to break down how Big Show got eliminated
Okay, go for it.
because Big Show, obviously, he's a giant, this and that, sold it, all of that. So Rey Mysterio was facing Big Show because they were advertising the following Tuesday that they're gonna face each other, which I don't
Mm,
understand why, because Raw vs SmackDown, this should be the end, but it's not the end. So, okay, so this is what I put. JBL tagged Ray after Big Show rises from a clothesline from hell. So that's how it started.
yep,
JBL hit Big Show with a clothesline from hell, and then Big Show was rising up, and then JBL was just like, I don't know what to do. And he
yep,
tagged him. It tagged Ray, and Ray was still unconscious, but he still went up and did the hit the 619.
yep,
After he hit the 619, then then Randy Orton tagged in and did
yep.
the RKO. But Big Show still rised up. And then JBL was tagged in and did the final clothesline from hell. And then he didn't even pin him.
Yeah.
He had to tag Ray again so he could hit with the West Coast pop. And then Big Show got eliminated. So Big Show got eliminated after 2 clothesline from hell, 1 619, 1 West Coast pop, and 1 RKO.
4
That
finishers, right?
Almost. Well, yes, 4 finishers and 1 signature move, because to this
Yeah.
day, nobody wants to claim that 619 is actually a signature move.
Okay. But
Think
yeah,
about
it's
it.
still it took a lot. It took a lot to
Yes.
put down the Big Show, but when I saw everyone else get eliminated and Shawn Michaels was 3-on-1,
Yeah,
Shawn
he did
Michaels was
the
the
dead
last
fish.
one on his team. He was the last one on his team, and I thought, well, it's bad for Shawn Michaels. It's over for Shawn Michaels, but no.
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels
That's the
very
second whole spot.
quickly got 2 eliminations, and the last 2 men was Randy Orton versus Shawn Michaels.
According to Tats, a fresh, young Randy Orton.
Yep.
Because I don't know how much input Randy Orton did for the match, because I do remember he was in the match, but his most memorable spot was at the end, because you can even see in his face he's like okay, I saw you dead fish combat, because that's what I call Shawn Michaels' combat. It's just a dead fish. He's just like right there laid down, and he just and then lays down.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Shawn Michaels was he was fighting like from underneath, dude, like
Mhm,
giving it all, but like you said, Randy Orton was a lot fresher. He wasn't as involved throughout this match as much as Shawn Michaels, so it told that story. Randy Orton pretty much had the upper hand. He got
mhm.
the win. He got the pin on Shawn Michaels.
By the
SmackDown.
distraction by the distraction of JBL, because JBL was gonna
Oh,
hit
yes, that's true.
JBL was JBL was gonna hit Shawn Michaels with the chair, but then Shawn Michaels did the dead man fish
Mhm.
super kick. He did the super kick to JBL, and then the referees was trying to drag out JBL away from the match. Randy
Yeah.
Orton hit the RKO, and there you go.
Yeah, so
SmackDown.
overall, everyone that got pinned in this match, the way that got pinned made sense if you think about it.
Mhm,
Bobby Lashley was the first one to get eliminated, but not before cleaning house and looking like a powerhouse and looking impressive.
mhm.
Big Show took like 4 or 5 finishers for him to get pinned. Shawn Michaels got pinned, but after a distraction, after being involved in this match so much. So everyone in this match still looked good. Batista, it took Kane and the Big Show to eliminate Batista. So
Mhm.
everyone in this match, they they didn't get buried, I feel like.
Nobody got
Everyone
buried.
everyone came out looking pretty good in this. SmackDown got the win for this Survivor Series, and in my
Got
opinion,
the got the
just
overall victory.
yeah, and just overall, SmackDown, like on paper, the SmackDown team I felt like was a lot more stacked. Even though you have Shawn
Mhm.
Michaels on Raw, even though you have like Big
John
Show and
Cena.
Kane, the SmackDown team was just
Oh, just
superior
the
in
Raw
my
team. Like, yeah,
opinion. Yeah.
yeah. No, a lot of people would say like I think it would have been a little bit different if John Cena, Triple H would have been on Team Raw. But then I'm like, hmm, yeah, I could kind of see Raw winning because of if John Cena and Triple H was part of it. But then I feel like those were the top guys from SmackDown. I feel like those were the legit top guys. Chris Masters and Carlito, they were like okay, they're like yeah, yeah, you know, they're there, but they weren't the top guys. I guarantee you those two spots would have been belonged to John Cena and Triple H, and then now no question they would have got the victory.
And what was the star rating for this one? Oh,
You
wait,
have to
I have
tell
to
me.
guess.
You have to guess.
3 stars.
So close.
God damn
Three,
it.
3.5.
Wow, okay.
Which, in my
Okay.
opinion, I feel like with the last man standing should have been a solid 3, whatever. Yeah, give it to them. And then this match should have been 4 stars, in my opinion, because I feel like it was really good.
Nice. Yeah, I like this match a whole lot too, but it's not over there, Kung Fu Eddie.
It's not over. And
It's
remember what
not
I said
over.
about the video package in the beginning? They kind
Yes.
of spoil it to us.
And
They
also the
put that
art
in our heads.
and also the art form too, like the picture of Survivor Series for that year is kind of like a shadow of the Undertaker too, if I'm not mistaken,
Mm.
right?
Yeah, it is the poster again. Undertaker was not advertised. Oh, there you go. If Undertaker would have been part of the 5-on-5, I think Bobby Lashley wouldn't even be a part of it.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah,
Very likely, yeah.
Undertaker would have been the leader.
So after the match, the SmackDown roster,
Yay!
they hit the
Yay!
ring to
Yay!
celebrate with Randy Orton.
Yay!
They put Randy Orton up on their shoulders and they're carrying him around, and then the
Randy Orton
gong,
was like,
the Undertaker gong hits, and Randy Orton's quivering in his boots. We have a very epic
wow, hold
entrance
on.
of the Undertaker.
While Randy Orton was quivering in his boots, as your words, the
Mhm.
SmackDown roster was still high fiving each other. They were congratulating, not realizing
It took him
that
a
there's a
while,
gas
huh?
hit. No,
It,
they played dumb to the
mm,
very end until the Undertaker got into the ring.
mm.
Because I don't know who it was. I think it was like one of the dicks. Because remember, this is comedy. this is Vince McMahon's era of WWE, even though it always was. There was a tag team called the Dicks.
Damn, I don't remember that.
Yeah, they were dressed like Chippendales, you know.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
So until the Undertaker comes into the ring, one of them was about to like either high five or somebody. No, Randy Orton shoved him. Yeah, that makes more sense. Randy Orton shoved one of the Dicks, and then Undertaker grabbed him, did the choke slam, and then everybody was like, "Oh my God, the Undertaker's here!" Y'all did not realize that this man had a whole entrance,
Yes.
had a whole casket. Lightning came in, casket was on fire. You didn't see that?
It was a pretty big deal, man. That entrance was epic, man. They came out.
So
They took.
epic.
Yeah.
It was so epic to the point that the SmackDown roster did not care.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, it was that one where they slowly brought out the casket, they stood it up, the big lightning bolt comes, it hits it, the casket catches on fire, and then boom, Undertaker breaks through the door, and here comes the Undertaker. Undertaker hits the ring, he clears the ring out of everyone. Randy Orton
Dude, it was so
dips
dumb.
out of there.
Randy Orton was the only one that was like,
Yeah, he's out of there.
And then,
he's out that
and then
mix.
I still remember Paul London and Brian Kendrick were they were pretending they were running away. If you look at the video, I could have sworn they're like in the second row, they're just like pretending like, yeah, we're pretending we're leaving. And then Undertaker grabs them and did the choke slam again. The only one that actually fought back was William Regal, which again,
He got tombstoned.
I think William Regal was just like, might as well get a paycheck, I guess.
Yeah. Do you remember what led to this? What was after this, or what was next for Undertaker and Randy Orton after this?
So let's mention it before, because before it was the first time that I went to my first pay-per-view overall as a child. It was No Mercy. It was Eddie Guerrero versus Batista. And that was like my favorite memory because I was in the nosebleeds chanting Eddie, Eddie. I was one of those people, even though Eddie was the bad guy. But before that match, Randy Orton and The Undertaker had a casket match. Hence why Undertaker came out in a casket, because Randy Orton won the match. He closed the casket and he set the casket on fire.
Gotcha. Okay.
Hence why all of this happened. Now, the following night on Tuesday, I didn't see the SmackDown afterwards, but because I still remember this, and I'm glad I still remember this, the main event was Big Show versus Rey Mysterio on a one-on-one. I still don't understand why, but I understand why. So, Rey Mysterio came out at Eddie Guerrero's lowrider again because they were trying to get us to chant Eddie, Eddie, even though it's Ray, whatever. So from there, Big Show and Rey Mysterio were fighting this and that. Kane comes out and causes the disqualification, even though Rey Mysterio, he's like 5'2" and Big Show is 7 foot, but he needed Kane to defeat Rey Mysterio, which goes to show you how much Rey Mysterio had that popularity and had that fan attraction and all that good stuff. Once Kane and Big Show are dominating Rey Mysterio, guess who comes out? Mr. Marky Mark, Mr. Undertaker. He clears house. He clears Big Show and Kane, but not until Randy Orton, stinky little hating mother, did the RKO to Undertaker. So he grabbed Undertaker and put him in the back of the Eddie Guerrero lowrider, because remember, Rey Mysterio parked that lowrider there. Nobody came to pick it up, because after Eddie Guerrero does his lowrider, somebody picks it up. But that one they didn't pick it up. So Randy Orton put Undertaker in the back seat of the car, and he ran a reverse Undertaker to the little entrance below the fist, and it set on fire again.
Shit. Okay. Well, shit. Kung Fu Eddie. I got to get up out of here, Kung Fu Eddie.
Oh,
But
for sure,
man,
for sure. Thank you
thank
for
you so
your taking
much.
time, man.
Dude, hey, that was so great, man. You yeah, you have a really good memory when it came to this. So I'm glad you picked this one.
Oh, for
Before we get
sure.
out of here, tell the people where they can find you and anything that you might want to plug.
Man, y'all go follow the main channel, which is the Big Propaganda Wrestling Podcast, on all social medias, especially Instagram and Twitter, X, whatever you guys call it. Follow Kung Fu Eddie Baby, BAYBEE. So making sure that you guys follow us, see our projects, upcoming projects. Thanksgiving weekend, I'm gonna be posting all of my content, including my trip to TNA in San Antonio with the TNA tapings. And then Matt War Pro over there in Arlington, Texas, gave him a shout out. I have lots of video footages of that. They just showed their pay per view. So because they showed their pay per view, I could show my clips. Now, next, I did my fan expo with my homie Cello Smoke. That was his first comic book convention. Lastly, I did another lucha event that was from Phoenix Lucha Libre Entertainment. Shout out to you, Ruben. Appreciate you for inviting me for that. So I got clips for that as well. So there's four events that you guys could watch, enjoy during your Thanksgiving weekend when you're spending the time with your friends and family. And I really do appreciate you, Edgar. I appreciate you, Snug Wrestling. That's one thing I'm thankful for, is that we can share all this platform, making sure that we can have fun with this, enjoy ourselves, and like I said, happy Thanksgiving, man.
Yeah, thanks. You too, bro. I appreciate you. Always a fun time to have you on the show, man. And keep in touch, dude. I'm looking forward to your
Oh, for
next
sure. We got to
projects,
do
dude.
Christmas. We got to do some Christmas special.
Oh, you already know we will, dude. Until then, my name is Edgar. I'm the host of Snug Wrestling Podcast. Thank you guys for listening, and we will talk soon.